Should we talk about lead generation and marketing at all?
I think that we should.
What are you drinking today?
I am drinking my tea.
From Newport
Sorry,
something.
not tea, water.
Did they pay us for placement, for promotion?
No, I am
What's
avoiding
going on
promoting
here?
it, so I'm keeping the logo turned to
I keep my logo to myself too. All right. So look, we're going to talk about three things today. Number one, we'll talk about creating an overall marketing system. Number two, we'll talk about actually creating a marketing message. And number three, we're going to wrap up today with something that I call lead generation multiplier, lead gen multiplier. This is very cool. You know what? Let me see if I can do something here. I'm going to start with something fun. If I can make it work, we'll start with something fun.
Oh no.
So, oh yes. Since we're going to talk about lead generation always starts with marketing messages. So I went out there and found a couple of things that the overly eager marketing messengers out there put out, and I wanted to share that with you. So look, here's a marketing message. Freshly squeezed orange juice made with freshly squeezed oranges.
Wow. It's redundant a little bit.
That was supposed to be funny.
It's very funny.
All right, that one didn't work on Bo. But point is, if your marketing message says the obvious, then I might as well not say anything. Here's another one. Cantaloupe spears. Now, when you open the jar, be very careful because it may contain cantaloupe. All right, made her laugh. Now, this next one, touching wires causes instant death. $200 fine. So first it's going to kill you, and then we're going to charge you for it. One last one, and this last one is really particularly scary because it really impacts all of us. So I don't know what medication or what it comes from, but I had a good chuckle at this one. Look, you may be at risk of throat cancer if you have a throat or a mouth. All right. So look, we're going to talk about three things today. Number one, we'll talk about creating an overall marketing system. Number two, we'll talk about actually creating a marketing message. And number three, we're going to wrap up today with something that I call lead generation multiplier, lead gen multiplier. This is very cool. I don't see people teaching this, and it's like it's so easy to accelerate a rate with which you bring in more interest into your business, and obviously more leads, more prospects, more clients. It's kind of like obvious, right? See, the biggest mistake most entrepreneurs make, and that's why they struggle so much, is because they treat marketing as a one-time activity. So like folks come to us, they'll get on the phone, they'll get on a webinar, they'll email us and say, what is the best thing I can do? What's the one thing I should be doing? All right? Because they're looking for a tactic. They're looking for a silver bullet. If there were a silver bullet, the one thing to do would be to turn their entire business into a marketing, lead generation, converting machine. The struggling entrepreneurs are always looking for the silver bullet, the one thing, like what can I do today and it's going to be set and fixed. The mega successful millionaire entrepreneurs and those who think, so millionaire entrepreneurs is subjective, right? Successful entrepreneurs who succeed at any level they want to succeed at, they turn their entire businesses into a marketing machine that attracts, engages, and converts. So we'll talk about this in greater depth today. But I think that most people spend too much time trying to sell and not enough time generating leads. What I often talk about is that your business has two functions. One function obviously is to deliver what you do, but a main function is actually to attract leads and convert them into clients. It needs to market and sell what you do, because if you can't, you've got no business. Let's talk a little bit about this process. What does that system need to look like? And let me just walk you through it. So look, if you were to look at your overall marketing machine, it's got to do three main things. The first thing it has to do is grab attention of your target market. And towards the end today, we will talk a little bit about how to grab attention, but most folks do it completely the wrong way, because they're spending entirely too much time focusing on what they do. What are you doing?
I'm responding to some messages online.
Most people focus on what they do and not on what they do can do for their clients. And I know it's kind of a lot of do-doing in there, but if you focus on what do your clients want and how you can serve them better, then your marketing will get a lot more attention. So here's something that I was hesitating to put on, and Bo is kind of thrown into this today. But look, for all the feminists out there, I don't want to get hate mail from you, but here's something from a fellow Pole. Yes, another Polak, and I forget the guy's name. But bottom line is they are a manufacturer of coffins. All right, caskets. And by the way, they stole the idea from an Italian company, which was first, which used sex to market their coffins.
Well, so is that sex sells?
Yeah, but that's a whole different topic, so we won't
Right.
talk about it today. But look, this is kind of controversial. It definitely, when we talk about attention, this will definitely get you attention, whether you're a man or a woman. I mean, this is almost a work of art. Now, this is actually one page from the calendar that they put on every year. They get Polish chicks to pose naked, semi-naked on coffins, and they turn it into like, kind of an artistic type thing. But look, if you think, does this kind of stuff work? It actually got them written in Cosmopolitan. I mean, it gotten them so much press, it's not even funny. They used the money from selling the calendar, which by the way, they sell it for $50. And this was like a couple of years back. So Polish money, $50.
That's a lot.
That's a nice chunk of change, right? So they sell it for good money. They don't keep any of the money. They give it to charity, right? Once they cover the cost, they give it to charity. So great marketing stuff.
Awesome strategy.
It gets them on different shows and gets them on TV, gets them a lot of haters, a lot of lovers, but you can't deny the fact that they stand out. If you think about Coffin and you in Poland, you're going to be thinking about their company because they're talked about everywhere, and not just Poland. Now they're shipping this stuff everywhere because they got publicity internationally.
Does the coffin come with a chick on, on top of it? Well, this would
If
definitely
you were
want-
dead, what do you care?
it would make you want to buy a coffin far in
Absolutely.
advance.
Absolutely. So that's the first part of your machine. It's got to grab attention. But it's the second part, the what I call the 4E or E times 4 or E to the 4th power process that really kind of makes this whole thing. And this is what I want to walk you through right now. All right. So what does this whole thing stand for? Well, the first part is engage, because all the visibility means nothing, right? If you can get your folks to start interacting with you. Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
Because look, if you have like my problem when I first started my business, I had visibility. I was getting attention, but I wasn't getting engagement. Right? People didn't understand what it is that I was doing. They weren't coming to me to do business with me. So you must create engagement with them. They must start interacting with you. The second thing is entertainment. So I always talk about the fact that people will take entertainment over education any time of the day. And case in point, we do that too. It's like sometimes we know there's a project that need to be done, but hey, there's always Netflix, right?
Yes, and
I was like, what are you talking about?
No. But I think that entertainment would take over seriousness anytime. So I think that's why a lot of companies interject entertainment into any type of marketing that they do, and it wins over every time.
And I talk about the fact that, look, I mean, if you really want information, like step-by-step specificity, right? You can always go to Google and YouTube, and those two genius brothers will tell you how to do everything and anything and anytime. I Google videos all the time, and there's some, no offense, man, some little geeky guy. Sometimes a 14-year-old teenager like show me, here's how you do X, Y, Z. Here's what you do this, you do that, you plug it in. I'm like, great, that's all I needed to know. But the point is that as great as that little technical whiz and genius is, he doesn't understand how it actually serves people and how to make money with it. This is where I come in, right? Plus, those two genius brothers, I always talk about, they've got nothing on me. They're not nearly as handsome and not nearly as funny as I am. All right? Now, I can't speak for Bo, but hey. And, by the way, neither Google or YouTube are halfway as humble as I am. Just my opinion.
I go to Google and I go to Google all the time, and YouTube as well. But for a solid advice, I would turn to Adam.
Awesome.
That's the truth.
Awesome. Solid advice.
Marketing and business.
Very
building.
cool. Very cool. So that's the second part. You want to entertain people. But look, when push comes to shove, I don't care how funny you are, you've got to give people good information. They can laugh with you all the time, but at the end of the day, if they can't figure out how to do what they do, so how to solve some of the problems, whether it's relationship, health issues, business, money. Like, look, I can entertain you all day, but at the end of the day, you want to know how to bring in leads and clients, because if you don't, then it's not funny, right? So at some point, you've got to provide good info. But what I'm saying is that just information alone is useless. You've got to give people some fun and stuff with it, because that's what makes you unique. Like, that's what makes us a little unique. We've got a little bit different energy, entertainment, and you can't get it anywhere else. I mean, if you can find, I got to put it back on the camera here. Okay, I'm issuing an official challenge. An official challenge. If you can find another marketer that's half as smart as I am, all right, that's got a hairdo half as good looking as mine, the challenge is on. I'm going to take it on, all right? You know anybody like that?
I know a couple of people like that.
Oh, jeez. You're supposed to be with me. You're my wife.
I am
was
with
like,
you.
no.
I'm with you.
Anyway, folks, trying to be funny here. Hopefully it's working. All right, so we talked about the last part. Actually, we talked about educating. The last part is you have to empower people. By empowering, I mean, look, your marketing machine has a job to do. And that job is to move clients farther down the path with you. So they start with you, and you get them as a lead. You start solving the problems, but you want to start encouraging and empowering them to become more successful, to solve more of the problems, and to consume more of your materials, and to actually buy from you. You want to empower them to be confident enough to take more action and spend more money, and ideally spend more money with you. That's the job of your marketing. So that's the last part, the empowerment. All right.
All right. So I can now see that actually there's a validity to this order that you have: engage, entertain, educate, and empower.
No shit.
Aha! Wow. I had an aha moment. All right.
Care to share your aha moment?
I did have an aha moment that you cannot educate before engaging and entertaining.
That's right. So
great stuff.
So that's the 4E part, and there is actually the next part, the last part of your machine, and that is obviously sales, right? So your machine, you get attention. People get dropped into your machine, and it entertains, engages, entertains, educates, and empowers. But then at some point, you've got to take over, and sales need to happen. And here's the mistake that most folks make. They spend entirely too much time trying to sell and not nearly enough time trying to market. Now, do you know the difference?
Between marketing and selling?
You guys see that fear in the eyes? Like,
what? Adam is always putting me on the spot. So my question is, do you guys know the difference between marketing and selling? I'm just passing the back.
She's a highly professional coach.
I am pretty sure that you are.
And how do you feel about this?
So can you explain to us, is there a difference, and
I
what
cannot.
the difference is?
I was wondering if anybody knows.
Please.
Somebody help us out. Look, your marketing is designed to generate awareness and desire for what it is that you do. Generate awareness and desire. I mean, there's so many different definitions, but essentially everything that's dedicated to getting attention, building desire, getting people come to you, that's all marketing. Selling is the facilitation of a decision-making process where money will be exchanged, where someone buys whatever it is that you do for some of their profit, some of their money. That's it. Sales is the last part, and most people essentially end up meeting. It's selling is like having sex, and marketing is like trying. It's like advertising on what's the website for people? eHarmony or something else. What's the other one? Or Fishpond or something. Match.com, whatever. It's like doing that and going on dates and courting and buying drinks. That's all marketing. And then it's like, come on, let's have sex, right? It's like, if you can get it, you sold. All right, you can close the deal. That's really what it is. And most people try to get into sock with somebody else entirely too early, and don't spend enough time, effort, and energy to actually prime the pipe, so to speak, build the relationship. And one of the big problems that what I'm sharing with you today will help you, like this E4 formula, is what I call an authority gap. Look, I can literally sneeze and I'm going to get clients in, and I'm being sarcastic here on purpose. But many times you're going to buy products and programs from gurus. And by the way, guru is not a bad word, but it's another show that show you, hey, here's how you blog and you get millions of dollars. And here's how you do YouTube videos and you make millions of dollars. Problem is that, and I do the same thing. Here's how to do webinars and make millions of dollars, right? Problem is that, I have a bit of momentum and a bit of reputation and a bit of recognition. And people love doing business with successful people. So that reputation, that renown actually works for me, right? That authority status accelerates exponentially the results I get from everything that I do. Now, when you are not at that level, when you're starting out, you don't have the authority. You may replicate someone else's tactic, but because you don't have the authority status, your tactics will not work as well. That's why, so many people are starting to go like, well, I'm doing what you are doing. Why isn't it working? Because you've got to give it a little bit more momentum. And if you implement the 4 things, if you engage with people, I'm going to show you in a moment how to do it a little bit differently. If you start being a little bit entertaining, if you educate them how to solve the problems, and if you empower them to start moving forward towards their achieving their goals, then you start building your own authority status. You start bridging that authority gap. Make sense?
Makes sense. And it actually brings to my mind the thing that you teach all the time. Start teaching and stop selling. Pitching. Right.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Isn't that lovely that my wife knows my quotes?
But it is, it is teaching, keeping this, providing good stuff to your potential clients and cranking up this machine. And after some time, you see the results.
Absolutely. All right. So, folks, just in case you're joining us, here's what's going on. You are on with Adam and Bo, our marketing show. And we're so excited that you are here. If you would like to, do us a favor and like, love, or share this. Despite all our technical difficulties, we would absolutely love it and appreciate it. And, of course, no marketing show would be complete with some level of pitching, right? I'm giving you some value here, so hopefully you can put up with us inviting you to something else. Look, if you would like to continue getting value with us and if you would like to learn how to turn your business into this proverbial marketing black box, the marketing client attraction machine. This is what I've been doing for over 16 years, over 25 years for my own business as an entrepreneur. And we've got a webinar coming up on Tuesday and would love for you to participate with us. If you want to discover how to turn your expertise into client attraction system so advanced that will make clients come to you, literally, no joke, and I'm going to show you this, examples and proof, then come and join us. Go to themarketingmentors.com/webinar, themarketingmentors.com/webinar, and sign up for the next one coming up next Tuesday. And I would love to have you there and help you out. All right. So should we move on and talk a little bit about this next part of marketing system?
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on. So
what's the next part?
I think the next part is I'm looking forward to generating leads. Oh no.
No. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Well, that's what I have on my my agenda in my notes.
So I shared with you. I showed you earlier. This controversy approach of the Polish casket maker, right? And he was getting attention, but attention is good. But with the first part, how do you get people to engage with you? And the first thing is people will typically ask you, what do you do? So whether it's on your website, whether you have a business card, a brochure, on social media, there is always like about us. Mm-hmm. Can you clearly, succinctly, and effectively and magnetically share what it is that you do with other people? You've got to come up with the magnetic marketing message. So I think the next part, let's talk about the magnetic marketing message formula.
Absolutely. And that's something, so maybe, if I look at my notes, right, magnetic marketing message. Okay, yes, I didn't follow my notes, but that's something that you are using over and over again wherever you have encounters with your potential clients, in all your materials, in all your connections. So tell us about creating magnetic marketing message.
I'm still learning. I just got started and... so I'm not very good at it, but I'll see what I can do. I'm being sarcastic here again. But look, the problem with marketing is that you're paying too much attention to yourself, not enough attention to your market. And the same thing is with the marketing message. You tell people what it is that you do instead of telling them what you can do for them, right? And most people don't care what it is that you do. What they care about is that you can help them somehow, that it benefits them. So I always talk about, it's like having two, I'm going to borrow your phone here, all right? Okay. It's like having two phones and they're on different networks. They, they don't communicate with each other very well. So one is on a network like, this is what I do, right? What I do, WID, this is what I do. And the other is on a network of, WIIFM, what's in it for me? And if you don't broadcast on the frequency WIIFM, what's in it for me, they're not receiving. So look, here's a formula that I've been using forever and ever and ever. And it's helped me, it's helped hundreds, if not thousands of our clients and students. So I want to share with you this formula and walk you through it really quick. It's very, 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 very easy, very, very quick. And point is, you don't have to memorize it. You don't have to memorize it. You just have to understand the formula. And every single time you can use different words to say it. And this is what makes it so powerful. So it's TA plus BP plus HUB plus CTA equals attention and action.
There's a lot of acronyms in here, so I hope that you're going to explain all those TABPs and so.
All right, I'm going to leave it on for a moment. This is a chemical explosive formula. All right, you just mix the right chemicals and boom, profit explosion happens.
This is the formula that is going to allow a person on one network talk to the person that is on another network, or is it going to get them on one network to talk to each other?
This is going to work on all networks across. This is a universal formula.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and decipher this formula.
This is a universal formula, folks. And the way this formula works, every time you're in front of a client, you kind of get into this meditative state and you start going TA plus BP plus HUB plus CTA equals success in action. TA plus BP plus HUB plus CTA equals success in action. If you chant this long enough, they will come, I promise.
Okay, let's make them come. I'm curious.
All right. So
well,
look,
I know some of them.
You know the formula.
I know
the
formula.
All right. So let me explain this. TA is target audience. Who do you want to do business with? And you don't always have to call out to your target audience. Like if you're in the room of entrepreneurs, you don't have to say, hey, attention entrepreneurs. But if you're in the room of mixed audience, it helps to zero in and specify who you're calling for. On your website, it helps to call out, hey, are you an entrepreneur? Are you a coach? Are you a solo person looking for a relationship? Are you a recently divorced, mature, professional, highly successful woman looking to find the love of your life, or looking to find love for the second time, or something like this? Call out to your target market, right? That's gonna make a big difference. You know what?
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Of course.
Right. And I always, I can tell a story. You know the story. When our daughters were swimmers, and there was at the pool, I was walking with a friend along the edge of the pool one day, and a little boy was sitting there, and I mean, noisy environment, lots of. If you've ever been to a swim events, it's crazy, right? And I hear this scream, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy!" And I'm like, I stop and I look, and then I realize it's a little boy, and I look at my friend and I say, "No, it's so funny because I don't even have a son, but I was so attached to the label Daddy that the minute he shouted Daddy, Daddy, I wanted to, I stopped and I paid attention." That's how powerful it is to actually say, someone's professional label, something that will relate to. Okay. The second part.
So first, target audience makes them raise their hands, or at least lift up their heads and identify themselves.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay.
It's if you're in a busy airport and someone shouts your name, you will stop, right? They may not be calling you specifically. It may not be your friend, someone who knows you, but your name is like, okay, somebody's talking to me. All right. Second part is, where were we? Okay, the big BP. Now, sometimes I use BP and sometimes I use BD, and it stands for big problem or big desire, right? And we don't have time to get into the nuisance of it, nuances of it. But look, big problem is what keeps your ideal potential clients awake at night. What causes them to, be awake at 1 o'clock in the morning and get up of that and pace? And BD is big dream. What causes them to wake up at the crack of dawn excited, all right? Or what are they chasing? What are they trying to achieve? Both those things will get their attention. Speaking to a problem is more effective than speaking to a dream, but it also tends to bring in a slightly lesser quality audience. All right, it depends on how you do it, but most people are problem thinkers. That's why when you speak to a problem that they're experiencing, you're gonna get more attention that way.
All right, so big problem, or it can also be big pain.
Big pain in the butt. Here, I said that. This is no longer a PG-13. This is a PG-13 and a half rated show. All right, next part is HUB. HUB. Now, here I want to have some part with this because HUB stands for hot, undeniable benefit of doing business with you. Hot, undeniable benefit of doing business with you. And this is where folks really have trouble articulating what they do because they actually talk about their process rather than what their work has created for their clients, the success the work has created for the clients.
So can you make the distinction for us? Because
I will
see that
attempt. I will attempt.
I see that over and over again that people are going right into the process, explaining the step-by-step process rather than showing the benefit of really working.
And when you talk about the process, it bores the heck out of people, right? It's not fun. So the difference is this. When someone says what it is that you do and you go into the process, it will sound like, well, what we do, we offer coaching calls and consulting, and, we have seminars, and, this is kind of how we help our clients. All right, good one.
Boring.
So, so this is boring, right? And people, and everybody does it. And basically when someone asks what it is that you do, they don't really care about what it is that you do. What they're essentially asking is, tell me how you can help me, right? So again, in our case, we would say something like, well, what we do, we show our clients a 7-step process that attract clients like crazy, guaranteed. All right. So what we just said is I did name the process 7-step process, but I zeroed in on the result that attracts clients like crazy, guaranteed. All right. And this is just one example, but you've got to figure out what is this hot, undeniable benefit that you offer, and how do you figure it out? Well, you want to look at historically what it is that you have accomplished for yourself, or what have you done for other clients. You want to look for biggest, baddest results you've created and bring them to the forefront of your message. Because look, this is kind of a little trickery I'm going to let you in on. I didn't say, I'm going to make you, or I'm going to I didn't say you are going to attract clients like crazy. That's not what I said. Now I know that's what you wanted to hear, but that's not what I said. I said, I'm going to show you a 7-step process that attracts clients like crazy, guaranteed. Or I'm going to show you a 7-step formula that takes entrepreneurs from zero to as much as $150,000 in 6 weeks. Guaranteed. Now, what's guaranteed is that I'm going to show you the formula. And the formula has generated that result and greater multiple times. So I can claim it, but I'm not claiming it's going to do it for you. And I know it's a little language manipulation and trickery, but the point is, at this point, you want to get attention. So you're looking for getting attention. So things like guaranteed results will get attention. All right. So again, you're looking for the biggest, the baddest result and that your client wants to achieve, that you can claim and speak to that. What is the hot, undeniable benefit, HUB, of doing business with you?
All right. So hot, undeniable benefit of doing business with you is not your unique method, you being unique, or something extraordinary, but it is really speaking to that pain that you identified in the beginning and showing them that it is.
Well, it could be your unique method, but you don't want to get into the unique method,
yet.
Right? But you can. So for example, so I could say so what do we do? I have the Urbanski marketing method that in 7 steps attracts all the clients you want to have, guaranteed, right? So I have the uniqueness, the Urbanski marketing method, right? Or, I have my 5-step authority gap closer system that shows you how to go from zero to being a hero, a recognized expert in your industry in 6 weeks or less, guaranteed. So if you go back on the recording and replay this, you see I've trained myself to use the formula over and over and over and over again. I don't have to think about it, and the words will come up differently each single time, and that is the whole point. that you don't want to be a stiff, you don't want to be a machine when you talk to people.
You don't,
Well,
but you have to know what you have to know what your magnetic marketing message is, so that you can express it succinctly and well enough all the time, over and over.
Yeah, you have to know what your hub is, and you have to know how to communicate it, right? So again, so far we talked about your target audience, big problem or big dream, if you want to substitute that. Or sometimes we combine both for maximum effect. So it's like, are you a coach, a consultant, who is really, who's great at what you do, but you're not attracting enough clients? And would you like to have a system that consistently brings you attract clients? So you did from problem to positive, right? Well, how would you like to learn a 7-step process that literally turns what you love doing the most into a marketing machine that brings you clients on autopilot guaranteed? All right.
So I just wanted to quickly interject. If you are watching us live, give us some love if it makes sense, and if you are watching the replay, also just comment.
It also makes sense to
makes
like.
Sense. Does it make sense?
Love? Does
hearts,
that what you do?
hearts,
I cannot do that.
Hearts.
This is like girly stuff. All right, I don't do girly stuff most of the time. All right, the last thing you do.
Oh, Lisa Rothstein has joined us. Hi, Lisa.
After all those problems, last thing you do is CTA, which for most of you marketers, you probably know what CTA stands for. All right. So here's my call to action. If you're enjoying this and want to join us further, come to a training where I'm going to walk you through this entire process. I'm going to show you the 6-step process of designing your own lead generation client attraction machine. Go to the marketingmentors.com/webinar. We have one coming up every Tuesday. So it's easy to join us, and we do it live. It's a lot of fun, and we go in depth into a lot of the stuff that we just covered a little bit in here today. All right. So let me actually repeat that process one more time here for folks. Whoop, here we go. All right. So you got the whole thing one more time. Your target audience, your big problem or big desire, your hot undeniable benefit of doing business with you, and then call to action. So your call to action could be, I just closed it. Okay. Call to action could be download the report, schedule a free consultation, come to a webinar, attend a workshop. What's the next step you want them to do? Hence I put attention and action, target audience, big problem, and hot undeniable benefit. That gets attention. That gets somebody going like, "Whoa, I'm paying attention. I am in. All right. I want to know more. I want to know what it is. Tell me more. Tell me more." And then your call to action ensures that they continue with you. So you can say, look, it sounds like you're interested. Would you love to know more? All right. That's a question-based call to action. Would you like to know more? Well, yeah, I would like to know more. Well, why don't you give me a business card, and I'm going to send you a special report I just created. Why don't you give me a business card, and I'm going to send you a special video I just recorded that explains this process in detail. Would you like that? Well, yeah, there we go. You just got an opt-in, so to speak. All right. So that's the magnetic marketing message part. All right.
Very cool. We have a quick note from Vanessa saying, girly stuff suits you, Adam. So more hearts, more hearts.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So I'm messing things up over here royally.
All right. So we are watching the Marketing Mentors show with Adam and Bo.
Supposedly. There we go. Just to prove it. Yes. Yep. So thanks for joining us. And listen, if you've been here from the very beginning today, this is actually our second attempt. Our first attempt failed miserably for whatever reason. The technology did not fire at all. But yes, this is our attempt at weekly marketing mentor show with yours truly, Adam Urbanski, and my lovely partner and psychic and brains behind operation.
Now I'm psychic, Bo.
Yeah.
Not the psychic. Okay.
Psychic, one of those. All right.
Let's move on.
So again, welcome. Thanks for being here, whether you're watching with us live or not recording. We appreciate you supporting us through likes, loves, and shares, because it gets us a little bit more exposure. And if we get enough exposure, then we'll continue doing this, right?
If you love us, if you give us thumbs up,
or if you hate us, yeah, click like too if you hate us.
Put angry face on or something like this, and we'll know whether to continue or not with those shows.
All right. So far so good. I want to talk about last part about really turning the heat up on your lead generation process, and I call it the lead gen multiplier. The lead gen multiplier. All right. So What the heck is it? How does that work? Bo, this is your part.
All right, so I know that there are like at least 20 different ways to generate leads, and Adam is going to walk us through at least half of them. And if you want to know more, I know that we have this marketing Bible called Attract Clients Like Crazy, which goes through all of the...
So you just go right into pitching. All right, so look, I love putting you on the spot. The point is there are certain things Bo is absolutely awesome at, and she leaves the marketing stuff to me, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, you know, I mentioned this entire process that your marketing is a machine, not a single activity. Then we just went through kind of the first building block, your marketing message, right? Whether you have a lead generation page, you have a webinar page, you need to have your magnetic marketing message, who it's for, what's the problem, how are you going to solve it, what do you want them to do, right? That's the basic building block. But what people struggle with is like this whole concept, like, what do I give away for free? What's my message? What should it be? What should I communicate? So this is the idea of the lead magnet. And let me again show you what that, or lead generation multiplier, I should say. So look, if you're a coach or consultant, right? We have a lot of people who come to us who are in the coaching or consulting business. If you tell somebody, I'm a coach or I'm a consultant, how is this getting attention and generating leads?
I don't know, because there are so many coaches and consultants out there, and it's not enough to say that you distinguish yourself.
You don't know what it means. You don't know, what you can. People don't know what you can do for them, right? So it's like this big question mark. But look, what would happen if we shifted things a little bit and made what you do more specific, right? So what if we turned you into a business consultant?
Okay.
All right. So rather than just being a coach or consultant, a business, by the way, you can be a relationship consultant. You can be, what else can you be? Love coach. You can be
lifestyle consultant,
image consultant, right? There are many different things, many different specialties. Again, I just chose for this particular example, let's talk about someone who is a business coach or business consultant. And what's one thing you help people do? Well, you help people get clients. So think about, in the area of attracting clients, what are some possibilities? When someone wants to attract clients, what are some things they will be struggling with? And this is where your lead generation multiplier kicks in. So let me show you what I mean. Well, if someone wants to generate more leads or attract more clients, chances are they want to do some advertising. So you may have a lead generation article or a report or a video or a Facebook Live that talks about how to save 50% on your advertising costs and get twice as much results, right? So if you're a direct response marketer, you know that just changing how people advertise is going to bring down the cost and increase the results, right? So you can have information about lead generation efforts. Here's another topic. Would they want to know how to actually get leads? How to convert looky-loos into leads? How to make your website capture more leads? How to create special reports that generate leads? So you can have all sorts of topics that teach people how to solve lead generation problem. What's another topic? Well, once you have leads, not everybody that shows up ends up throwing their credit card at you and wants to buy from you immediately. Most people don't. So how do you follow up? So you can have a topic that says, how to create a 24-week automated follow-up system that turns prospects into clients. It's a great article, right? And it educates people how to solve some of their own problems. What's another topic? Once you have leads, you know how to close sales. So again, you can teach people, 5-step formula for turning more conversations into paying clients. That is a great article that your audience actually wants. Now, by the way, notice that every one of those topics is moving people farther down the problem-solving line. So you're solving them problems, showing them how you can support them, and building hunger and desire for your actual full solution. I'm assuming you want to have something that solves this problem completely, right? One more topic. Now, once you get people to buy, you don't want one-time clients. You want people to buy from you over and over and over again. Now, look, you can have an article, a Facebook Live, a short YouTube video, report, webinar, teleseminar on each one of those topics. And each one of those topics brings people to you. And then ultimately, you communicate what is your main solution. Because here's what you have to realize. If you're a business coach or consultant, like in this particular example, right? Your audience isn't always thinking in a broad topic like, how do I build my business? They're thinking in terms of solving a specific problem. You know, I want to start advertising on Facebook. How do I do that? All right. Here's the 5-step startup formula to get started with Facebook ads without losing your money. All right. How do you generate leads? You know, here's how to turn your website into a lead magnet. You know, here's five questions or 5 checkpoints. How to ensure your website converts looky-loos into leads. All right. Next one was, you know, what do you send to your people on autopilot follow-up to turn them into clients? Next one is, how do you talk to potential clients or prospects to turn them into clients? And the next one is, once you have paying clients, how do you convert them into full business? So people think about it, and it's like, you know, I've got 100 clients. They bought from me once. They never bought from me again. How can I get my past clients to buy from me again? That's a problem that part of your market will be experiencing. So you see, every single one of those multipliers, those lead gen messages, is targeting a section of your market, hence making you attractive to a broader audience, getting you more leads. Think about it this way. You know, if you build a beautiful church and it's Easter for all of those Catholics out there, right? Easter Sunday, you've got to go to church and everybody is flocking to church. And it's beautiful church. It can accommodate 2,000 people. And you know, it's 10 a.m. morning services and everybody flocks in. There's only one problem. There's just one tiny door. It causes a major jam, and some people will go like, you know, it's too much hassle. I don't want to do it. You know, it's like there's no parking at the front door. I'm out of here. Right? Too much congestion. But if you build side doors, then make it more convenient for people to enter. So in a nutshell, your business is a beautiful cathedral. By creating what I just showed you here, different entry points, you essentially are building more doors to your cathedral. That's what it is. More points of entry.
I like this analogy. I don't know if I've ever heard you saying or putting it this way. So it's actually a great analogy. Opening multiple doors to let people enter into your world. So, or making them aware of those multiple entryways.
Absolutely.
That's a great analogy.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So that's it. That's my big ta-da for today. So let me just sum it up really quick for those of you joining us. This is the Marketing Mentor Show with Adam and Bo. And if you're just joining, look, you may want to rewind. We covered some good stuff. We talked about how to, the 4 parts of your overall marketing machine, what you need to have in there, what it needs to do. We talked about how to create magnetic marketing message, the formula. And we just talked about how to multiply your lead generation efforts in a very effective and very smart and very savvy way. So all that's left for you to do right now is, number 1, click like, love, or share. Number 2, if you're brand new to the Marketing Mentors world, head over to themarketingmentors.com/webinar. We've got a weekly training showing you advanced client attraction system you can easily use to get more leads and more clients very, very quickly. It's a 90-minute live training. It will be great for you to join us. Again, you go to themarketingmentors.com/webinar. And I think we got to sign off.
We're going to sign off because we already started late and we are...
Do you have any last final words of wisdom?
Final words of wisdom. Well, first of all, you know, nothing happens, I believe, in your business without great marketing. So when I watch great commercials and when I watch some products and services skyrocketing out there, I always think that it is great marketing that is behind it, that makes a good product, a good program, a good service to skyrocket to the top. but there are so many great products that don't make it because we don't know about them.
Well, most people don't peel the curtain, so to speak, and let you in behind the scenes. But you know, few people know, for example, that something so successful like Priceline. Well, they didn't get to be so successful right away. They had some issues. But another a better example is things like the famous Snuggie.
Yes.
I don't know if you know, but Snuggie was being attempted to be sold 4 different times prior before somebody figured out a formula, the price point, the exact languaging, how to rename it. It wasn't named Snuggie to begin with, where, you know, once they turned it on, it started cranking something crazy like $20 million in revenue, you know, in a month. I mean, like crazy stuff overnight. So one good marketing strategy, Bo, you're absolutely right. One good marketing strategy can completely transform your life and your business. Another great big company out there that few people know that the struggles behind how it started was the freecreditreport.com. What most people don't know, that again, it had 4 different attempts of massive advertising and massive failure before they eventually figured out one little tweak to the marketing message that just opened the floodgates of prospects and people coming in. And you know, maybe we'll share that in the upcoming show, maybe next week or some future time, if you want to know about it.
So I think that sometimes the story that you tell about your product or service can be greater than the product or service and can make or break your business. So marketing is about storytelling and elevating your business above all the other ones. So
some of it.
All right.
Awesome. Cindy, great to see you here. Awesome. I just want to acknowledge Lisa, Vanessa, that I can see. I know there was some others here coming in and leaving through our technical difficulties. So for those of you that stuck around, watch the whole thing. Hey, listen, you are a trooper. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you very much. You want to say anything?
Yeah, we appreciate all of you, and here is a big heart to all of our viewers.
All right, I'll do the same thing. Wait a second. Is this how you do it? Is this how you do it?
That's
all right.
A heart. It's not an apple. It's like this.
Oh,
yeah, Adam made a heart. All right.
All right, folks. This is the Marketing Mentor Show with Adam
and Bo.
And we appreciate you very much. I love you. Signing off.
Thank you.
Until next time, take care. Cheers.
Cheers.
Like us. Love us. Sure. I'll find out where you live. All right, now we're stopping.